What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one, we have how Twitter's attack on Indians is backfiring. Why Twitter attacking Indians? We about to find out. Before we do, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. If you would like to support this channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is smash that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's see what's going on
When it comes to anti-Indian racism or anti-Semitism, at least in the mainstream social media platforms, Twitter or X is where it has been normalized the most. When Elon Musk bought Twitter in 2022, it was declared to now be a place where free speech would be celebrated and defended. But along with that defense of free speech, we also got a new set of problems.
बैरी स्टैंटन का इस यूजर ने इतनी गंदगी फैलाई कि पूरा इंटरनेट ही गंदा गया है। इस यूजर की भारत के लिए नफरती पोस्ट दिखी। इस पोस्ट के जरिए वो इस बात को दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहा था कि भारत के लोग सुंदर नहीं होते हैं। एक मीम में भारतीयों के खुले में शौच का मजाक उड़ाया गया। एक और मीम शेयर हुआ जिसमें लिखा था कि मुझे भारतीय ना बनाने के लिए भगवान का शुक्रिया। एक पुलिस वाले को गौमूत्र पीते हुए वीडियो लगाकर लिखा कि इन लोगों को क्या समस्या है। एआई से तस्वीर बनाकर लिखा गया कि भारत के टॉप साइंटिस्ट इस बात की रिसर्च कर रहे हैं कि टॉयलेट का इस्तेमाल कैसे किया जाए।
Let's be sure about these attacks. A lot of these are not criticisms of India, which is fine, or Indian policy, or Indian behavior online. These are ad hominem attacks on Indians for simply being Indians, or ad hominem attacks on Jews for simply being Jews. In fact, Elon Musk himself is accused of amplifying such anti-Indian racism. So the accusation is that the free speech platform that Elon Musk has created Indian racism.
Oh, Jesus.
So the accusation is that the free speech platform that Elon Musk has created has turned into a hive of anti-Semitism, villainy, and anti-Indian racism. And while some of you...
That's what I feel like when you give full access to free speech, and I'm not against free speech in any way, shape, or form. Like, I believe in free speech, but I believe there's pros and there's cons. I believe with free speech comes hate speech, comes people saying any and everything, comes hatred and racism and all kinds of things. People like are just cruel for no reason. People are mean for no reason, and that truly bothers me. Like, how could you be so mean? How could you be so cruel for just no reason at all? It's weird, but yes, with free speech comes hate speech, and yeah, once you open that up, it's on social media platforms. Yeah, we have free speech in the U.S., but on social media platforms, people who are the owners of the platforms are able to censor certain things, and Elon Musk says he's not going to do that, and so now you have this.
You might argue that, well, hate speech is part of free speech, and that's very true. But there are two things that throw a spanner in that argument. Number one is that in this video, we're going to show you that Elon Musk himself is not the defender and upholder of free speech that he has marketed himself to be. And secondly, Elon seems to be now realizing that allowing unfettered racism and anti-Semitism on your platform can have negative consequences for your company, as Twitter's ad revenue have plummeted since Elon took over. So has Twitter's valuation. And he can't really be surprised about this. It's like being surprised if you see another Nepo baby in a Karan Johar movie, or being surprised at celebrities giving health advice on Instagram while doing ads for the most artery-jamming sugary food products known to man.
I will say I never get on X, bro. Like, I just don't even feel right being called X when it's Twitter. It's Twitter. Name shouldn't have changed. X. I guess there's still a lot of people who do use X. As we can see, a lot of people got very racist things to say, or negative things to say about other people, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I don't even use X, not one bit.
TV. So let's talk about how Twitter has become the hub of anti-Indian racism and anti-Semitism, how Indians are fighting back against it, and how Twitter is now starting to pay a bit of a price for it, and perhaps rightly so. So Twitter's got a very interesting story over the last decade or so. Twitter was created by Jack Dorsey, who today looks like Professor Dumbledore from Harry Potter if he was hooked on crack. But back in 2006, he and some of his friends created Twitter. The idea was a simple microblogging platform where you could share your thoughts in 140 characters. But as time went on, Twitter turned into something much bigger than just a microblogging site where you would tell people who weren't interested at all about what shitty movie you're going to watch that weekend. Twitter actually became a global conversation platform and a bit of a global town hall. People used it to coordinate huge movements like the Occupy Wall Street movement as well as the Arab Spring. People genuinely felt that everybody had a voice on Twitter.
The 2011 Arab Spring protests, Twitter and Facebook played an outsized role in these protests.
Oh, wow.
In the winter of 2010, 2011, you had the Arab Spring happening. You had people in Tahrir Square speaking truth to power, using Twitter to give a voice to protests, to engage in democracy.
It served that function of immediacy, which is very different from when you're reporting to the mainstream media.
Someone on Twitter that has over 5,000 followers, the regime now considers that person someone who can influence.
But unfortunately, soon enough, cracks started appearing in this utopia. And it was mainly due to the leanings of Jack Dorsey himself, but also mainly his staff, who made him pose for dumb photos like this. We saw many instances of this kind. News broke that Patrice Khan-Cullors, who was the co-founder of the Black Lives Matter movement, had purchased a $1.4 million property in a mostly white neighborhood. Now, naturally, that would raise some eyebrows, and an African-American journalist pointed out this hypocrisy, but for that, he got locked out of his Twitter account. Pepe the Frog, who is a very well-known meme, unfortunately was also appropriated by some alt-right racist memers. But it has also been used by people on the left, people in the middle, and for all kinds of memes, not just racist memes. But back in 2016, Hillary Clinton's campaign went so far as denouncing Pepe as a white supremacy symbol. And the Anti-Defamation League also declared it a hate symbol, and Twitter quickly joined the crusade, censoring any accounts featuring Pepe at the time. And in recent examples, one of the big fish in Twitter's crusade in censoring one type of speech was the Hunter Biden laptop story during the 2020 American elections. Twitter blocked an entire New York Post article about Joe Biden's son, where they broke the news about the contents of Joe Biden's son's laptop. And what were these contents? Well, let's just say they weren't family vacation photos. They allegedly contained emails and messages involving Hunter Biden's business dealings with a Ukrainian gas company called Burisma, as well as some very, very scandalous pictures of Hunter using banned substances and gallivanting with ladies of the night. Then the last straw really was when Trump got banned from Twitter after the January 6th insurrection, and even Alexei Navalny, who was the Russian pro-democracy leader, said that this was a dangerous precedent that a world leader can just be kicked off of a social media platform like this and can be cut off from the public like this. And so there was a lot of resentment.
There's other social media platforms you can go to, but I can understand a lot of people being upset at, I guess, the censorship that started happening, especially it seems like from his this video, the censorship being one-sided. I can see a lot of people being upset about this reason, and so they decide, hey, we're not gonna use Twitter anymore. When I use Twitter, I use Twitter for fun. I was using Twitter to try to talk to girls. This is when I was younger, and that's what Twitter was about for me. But it seems like it's sprung up to be much more than that. I'm not sure about the Arab Springs and everything that happened there, but it sounds like Twitter was used as a great tool for things such as that, for protests such as that. But then it sounds like, I guess he was leaning too one-sided, and he censored anything that I guess he himself deemed bad, and so when you that's just what it seems like from this video. When you do that, then people are going to be upset.
Building against Twitter about its selective policing of speech. Fast forward to 2022, and the plot thickens when Elon Musk, the tech billionaire, proceeded to do a hostile takeover of Twitter and decided to reveal what we now call the Twitter files.
Elon Musk has been busy releasing more Twitter files, shining a light on politically motivated suppression of speech on the platform.
Bombshell Twitter files.
Universe of stuff that they can do to any single account. They can dial it all the way down.
Twitter worked with the U.S. intelligence community and FBI to discredit a story about the shocking contents on Hunter's computer as Russian disinformation.
If Vivek Agnihotri is watching this, You better get this name copyrighted, man. These files showed how Twitter's moderation team under the leadership of Vijaya Gadde wasn't just enforcing the rules, they were actively receiving requests from the Biden administration to censor content, which they were complying with. According to the Twitter files, Twitter's former head of trust and safety, Yoel Roth, proudly took credit for censoring the Hunter Biden story and for shutting down Donald Trump's account post-January 6th. So Twitter employees were proudly boasting about getting Donald Trump kicked off the platform, while Iran's Ayatollah and the Taliban were still live tweeting on the platform like they were influencers at a brunch spot. And the censorship wasn't just happening in the US. Over in India, pro-Hindutva accounts were also being targeted. A group called the Digital Forensic Research Lab submitted a list of 40,000 accounts allegedly tied to pro-Hindutva ideology, requesting Twitter to shut them down, and many of these accounts did get targeted. So now let's talk about Elon Musk's reign over Twitter. According to Elon, free speech is the bedrock of democracy. He paid a whopping $44 billion to acquire Twitter and protect free speech on the platform.
Just imagine having that much money. He paid $44 billion for Twitter. Oh my God.
Because he considers Twitter to be the town hall of the entire planet. Immediately after taking over, Musk fired Twitter's CEO Parag Agrawal, CFO Ned Siegel, and legal chief Vijaya Gadde. He also introduced paid verifications via Twitter Blue, removing legacy verification badges so that the blue tick wasn't just reserved for the elite, but anybody could get a blue tick as long as they were willing to pay for it. But there were already some
weird... It just don't feel the same. It don't feel the same when you can buy it. You feel... I don't know. To me, it doesn't feel the same when you buy that blue tick versus when you earn that blue tick. I feel like there should have been a certain, like, once you get this number of followers, you get a blue tick. But when you can just buy it, anybody can just buy it. It's, don't feel right.
Things that were starting to happen as soon as Elon Musk took over. In 2023, Elon labeled the word cis and cisgender as slurs. And maybe that was, as the great Chris Cornell says, the shape of things to come. The right in the West celebrated after Elon Musk's Twitter deal went through. Twitter has become much more popular with right-leaning users after the takeover. Donald Trump was happy. Many American Republican politicians supported this deal going through, and Elon repaid that support. Donald Trump's banned account was reinstated. Kanye West, who got his account suspended for anti-Semitism, his account was reinstated, then banned again for anti-Semitism, and then reinstated again. The reaction from India was also interesting. On the one hand, pro-Hindutva accounts were thrilled. Kangana Ranaut hailed the takeover. Vivek Agnihotri also expressed support. Ashok Pandit was happy. Meanwhile, Sanjay Jha, former Congress leader and author, voiced his criticism, saying Elon Musk is like Donald Trump on a lower dose of steroids. But like I said, some things were off. And in the last 6 or so months, things have really taken a turn for the worse. In recent months, there's been a disturbing rise in racist content against Indians and Jews. Twitter's algorithm is working in a way that even accounts with fewer than 100 followers are seeing their anti-India or anti-Semitic content go viral. Trends like what's wrong with India flood the timelines with tweets meant to defame and demean India. But luckily for Indians and unluckily for the racists, Indians are actually pretty good at English. So they're able to respond to the racists in their own language. Indians decided to flip the script and fight back using their strength in numbers. The Indian government also got involved, asking the same question, but instead of showing anti-Indian racist content, it started showing pro-Indian content. So they basically hijacked the hashtag to show positive things about India. And even the Israeli government got involved. But despite this, racism against Indians on Twitter has become increasingly normalized, with slurs like Pajit cropping up more frequently. The only thing that really rivals anti-Indian racism on X right now is the insane amounts of anti-Semitic content and maybe anti-black racism. The term Pajit originated on 4chan in 2015.
It don't make, I'm telling you. See, when stuff gets to that point, bro, like, it just makes you not want to go on it. And like, I don't want to be scrolling down my feed and see any of this stuff. And so, yeah, that's like, I just don't mess with it. And I mean, I'm glad I don't. I didn't know about this stuff going on, and that's not the reason I got off of it. But I'm glad that I got off of it and don't mess with it, because nobody wants to see like anti-Jew Semitism, anti-Indian, anti-black, any kind of racism. I don't want to see any of that, like, because that's just weird. People are weird like that. Like, I don't understand it. I never will. It's strange.
2015 and has evolved into a broad ethno-religious slur against Hindus and Indians. And it's not just the white racists, but Islamists have also jumped on this trend. Many Arab handles that were slamming India online using that term were later revealed to be part of a coordinated Twitter war originating from Pakistan. These accounts posting as Arab voices were engaging in disinformation campaign and racist content and using it to fuel anti-India sentiment, but most of them originated from Pakistan or Bangladesh. This bias isn't just limited to slurs. A Twitter user shared a news report about a foreigner who was assaulted in India and decided to blame all of India and all Indians for this attack, and Elon Musk appeared to be agreeing with the sentiment of that tweet. Now again, like I said, you might say that, hey, it's hate speech, sure, it's racism, sure, but it should be part of free speech as long as you're not calling for any violence. And that's fair enough. But here's where Elon runs into two big problems. Problem number one is that Twitter, ever since Elon's takeover, has been hemorrhaging money. The company has lost approximately 72% of its value since Elon Musk took over, resulting in $24 billion in paper losses. Based on an analysis by Fidelity Investment, Twitter is now valued at around $9.3 billion, down from the $44 billion purchase price that Elon Musk paid. Some high-profile investors in Twitter have also lost money. Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal Al Saud has lost an estimated $1.4 billion on his nearly $2 billion investment. Jack Dorsey, Twitter's co-founder, has lost about $720 million on his $1 billion investment. Other major investors like Larry Ellison, Sequoia Capital, and Binance have also experienced significant losses. As of October 2023, Twitter's ad revenue had reportedly slumped by nearly 60%. Shockingly, companies don't want their ads associated with anti-Semitic and racist content.
Obviously.
Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
And really, Musk can't...
Who would have thought? Not me. Wow, that's absolutely insane. I mean, but he's right. Like, nobody wants their ads, like, with that. On YouTube, shoot, they're very strict on what you can put ads on. And you say one too many curse words, and, hey, you're getting limited ads. It's so I can understand these advertisers not wanting their, or these companies and organizations not wanting their advertisement on X where all of this racism and anti-Semitism and everything is. Well, what's crazy is just that it was valued at $44 billion when he bought it, and it is now valued at $9 billion. That's insanity. And people, god dang, $1 billion investment and to lose $720 million of it, $2 billion to lose $1.4 billion. It is absolutely, yeah, get out of X right now, dog. My days.
Be surprised by this, right? Because a child molester cannot be surprised that he's not allowed near an elementary school. But I love kids. Oh, that is the problem. If reports are to be believed, the user base of Twitter has also shrunk. In the US, the app usage has fallen by approximately 23% since November 2022. As of October 2023, monthly users were down by 15% globally. So obviously, that's one major issue that Elon is facing. But here's the second issue, and potentially an even bigger issue philosophically when it comes to Elon Musk and his defense of free speech and anti-Indian racism and anti-Semitism on Twitter. Because you may argue that Elon is sticking to his free speech principles. Sham, if you have such a problem with it, go to another platform, you idiot. First of all, calm down, man. That's a little bit aggressive. Secondly, Elon seems to be committed to free speech principles the same way Hulk Hogan is committed to wearing t-shirts. By which I mean, not that much, really. Twitter has been accused of trying to silence its critics several times since Elon Musk acquired the platform. Speaking of Musk's hypocrisy, let's not forget the Elon jet controversy. Musk once claimed that he'd allow an account to track his private jet movements because, you know, transparency. But then soon after, according to Elon, those public flight details magically became assassination coordinates, and poof, the account was deleted. Then came the spam purge incident, where Musk's spam filter seemed to catch only critics of Elon Musk. A number of left-wing accounts were mysteriously suspended, and after a backlash, Musk had to reinstate these accounts, and he claimed that this was a spam purge gone wrong. Oh yeah, Hitler should have used that excuse in World War II. Then came two infamous lawsuits. The first one being the Media Matters lawsuit. When Media Matters suggested that Musk might be profiting from hate speech, he didn't just clap back on Twitter and uphold their free speech. he sued Media Matters. But the funny thing was that the lawsuit said that Media Matters was allegedly accurate in its reporting. It just disagrees with how Media Matters framed its story. So you might realize here that this is Musk admitting that neo-Nazi and white nationalist racist content does appear on Twitter, and that Media Matters did in fact see ads appear next to that content, which means Twitter was benefiting from such content. Then the lawsuit that Musk filed allegedly claims that Media Matters defamed Twitter, but then the lawsuit actually doesn't include a defamation claim. Seems like it was an attempt by Musk to trap Media Matters in a very expensive lawsuit in order to basically shut them up. Musk has also tried to sue the Center for Countering Digital Hate after it released a report called Toxic Twitter last year, where the report said that Twitter under Musk's ownership had reinstated the account of previously suspended neo-Nazis, white supremacists, misogynists, and spreaders of dangerous conspiracy theories, and that Twitter stood to profit from additional advertising as a result. And
Elon. Yeah. I think he done messed up on this one. I think you messed up by getting X. I mean, just the numbers. You didn't even need to tell me all this, but telling me this makes the numbers understandable and why the numbers are like that, why Twitter usage is down, why the valuation of Twitter is where it's at. This tells me the story of the numbers, but my days, very great, very genius businessman in so many areas, but from watching this video, it just doesn't seem like this one is one of the great moves that he's made.
U.S. District Judge Charles Breyer dismissed the lawsuit that Musk filed on this organization and said that this was an attempt to silence the center for its reports about rising hate speech and conspiracy theories on Twitter. This doesn't sound like a man who will defend the principles of free speech with his life. In one instance, Fast Company reported that Musk found the identity of a would-be anonymous blogger who posted a negative stock analysis of Tesla, contacted that blogger's employer, and threatened to sue. And the threat worked. The blogger deactivated his social media accounts and stopped posting about Tesla altogether. Former Tesla employees have also reported being fired for disagreeing with Musk and for reporting racist harassment to human resources or for simply standing in his way. Elon basically uses free speech the way Rohit Shetty uses cars in his movies.
Oh my days.
And for a guy who loves to wax poetic about free speech, Musk sure knows how to keep quiet when it comes to China. His silence on the complete lack of free speech in China and by the Chinese government speaks louder than any tweet. See, if Musk really wanted to be a free speech absolutist like he claims, he had the opportunity to do so in these cases. But instead, he's turned it into a performance art piece where the punchline is always somebody else's silence. The guys like the Harvey Weinstein for free speech. Countries like China, Russia, and North Korea have long banned Twitter in their countries for misinformation, and Brazil recently joined this list. And what Elon Musk is doing with Brazil really shows what the biggest danger from Elon Musk is to democracies around the world. See, in April, a judge in Brazil ordered the suspension of dozens of accounts for allegedly spreading dangerous misinformation. Now, this order from the judge apparently even went against Brazilian law, so one can't fault Elon Musk for not complying with the demand. Elon obviously said that his company would not be complying with the demand of this Brazilian judge because his platform will uphold free speech. So obviously the judge ordered Twitter to be banned from Brazil. There's no issues against Elon Musk till now. But the issue is that since then, Elon has been on a crusade to take down this judge by any means necessary. He's been using his power and his massive Twitter platform and his influence to help the judge's opponent and to take down this judge no matter what. By the way, Brazil is the only country where Elon has actually stood up to a government's order against Twitter. Because ever since Elon Musk took over, he has basically agreed to every single country's government's orders to take down specific accounts. Now, what Elon Musk is doing against this judge is a problem because this is a foreign actor openly using his wealth, influence, and massive social media platform to interfere in a country's domestic affairs. Tell me how this is different from what George Soros is trying to do. George Soros is somebody who has publicly vowed to take down Modi, given many statements about the need to take down Modi, and said openly that he will use his power and wealth to help take down Modi. This is a
What is going on? See, this is why I like reacting to videos, because reacting to videos keep me up to date at what's going on in the world. There's so many things I don't know going on in the world that I react to videos and I see, and this is ridiculous. So Musk pick and choose when free speech is allowed. It sounds like any free speech is cool as long as it's not free speech criticizing him. As long as it's not free speech criticizing Tesla, as long as, but everything else is cool, which is absolute insanity. And I agree with him. Why would you fight so hard against this judge in Brazil, but you didn't fight against China, but you didn't fight against Russia, but you didn't fight against so many these other places that have X banned? But now you wanna, what's going on? This is it. I'm mind blown.
For an actor trying to interfere in a democracy and overthrow a democratically elected leader. So tell me why, when Soros does it, it's wrong, but when Elon does it in Brazil, it's okay. In India, we've been screaming and crying about the US deep state and the CIA interfering and overthrowing the Sheikh Hasina government in Bangladesh. I don't think what Elon is doing in Brazil is really that different. Look at India and Elon's relationship right now. In 2023, Tesla was nearing a deal with India for car exports and a $2 billion plant. That didn't go through so far. They're working on talks right now and both parties expect a positive resolution. But what if tomorrow Elon runs into some problems with the Indian government and decides to use his money and platform to take down Modi and prop up Rahul Gandhi? We should not take what Elon Musk is doing in Brazil lightly, because if he continues like this, it can potentially affect every single democracy on the planet. So basically, a billionaire is allowing rampant anti-Semitism and racism on his platform in the name of absolute free speech. Meanwhile, attempting to shut down criticism of his and his company's policies and alarmingly using his wealth and platform to attempt regime change in countries like Brazil. Exactly like George Soros, who Elon hates and who Elon thinks of as the globalist elite who are hell-bent on destroying the world. And so the question to Elon should be that if you're going to be such a free speech absolutist, you should put your money where your mouth is. And I want to ask you, do you think the current racism and anti-Semitism that we're seeing on platforms like Twitter right now is a problem? How do you solve that problem without necessarily contravening free speech principles? How do you write that line? How do you maintain that balance? Let me know in the comment section down below. As usual, guys, if you are enjoying our long-form English videos, let me know what I should make a video on next. Other than that, I will see you for the next episode. And until then, stay happy, stay healthy. I will see you for the next one. And to all of you, a secular brown.
I feel like you got to fight negativity with positivity. However, there's a lot of negativity. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, I agree with freedom of speech, but one of the cons of that comes hate speech, comes all these things. So, and I don't agree with that at all. So it's like, I don't know. People are just weird. Like, why do you want to hate on a group of people? What's the benefit from hating on a group of people that you never took the time to get to know, that you don't know anything about the culture, you don't know anything about the country, you don't know anything about the people, but you want to continue to spread hate? It's so weird. Let me know how y'all feel in the comment section. If you enjoyed that, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, check out the next one. I'll see you guys next time.